Hello everybody, my name is Dratnos, and in this video I'm going to answer a question I get a lot on stream, which is, what exactly is snapping? So the basics of snapping come about from answering a question of what an enemy should do if they can't actually find a way to get to where their threat target is. There are a couple different answers that Blizzard has used in different dungeons and throughout the ages for this. Sometimes the mobs will just evade and then reset. Sometimes the mobs will teleport you to them. And sometimes the mobs will teleport to you. And those rules are set on a dungeon by dungeon basis. So Atal'Dazar is a dungeon where the mobs will teleport to you, and that's called snapping. So the way this works is, you get threat on some mobs, they start hitting you, and then you'd move to a spot where they can't find a way to get to you with the normal rules, and they will just immediately teleport to you. And now the good news with this is that these swords do a pretty lethal jump on players, and they won't be able to do it to anybody else who's standing out there. So I can immediately get all the swords on top of me. I can get them grouped up so that they're not spreading with their jumps. And I can save the rest of the group from taking damage from those leaps, because they'll just all be stuck here on this little platform with me. So there's a huge amount of upside for doing this in Atal'Dazar, and that's why you see people do it with all the sword packs. And I can just zap in a new pull whenever I want it, and they'll just all immediately teleport to me, and I can kill it all. This example is unnormal, but this is a really, really common strategy to use in this dungeon. You can use it to snap more than just swords. For instance, if you want this middle pack, you can tag them and snap them as well. That can be very big if you do choose to pull this middle pack. It can make it a lot easier to deal with, because then other people aren't going to get hit by that frenzied charge ability. It'll just try and frenzied charge other people, and they won't actually succeed. So that's really powerful. That's a way, if you choose to do this middle pack, one of the safest ways is to actually do a snap of it. Another useful snap spot to be aware of in Atal'Dazar is here over at the stairs. So usually, you're coming out these stairs from the other side. You can just have your tank... Ooh, I'm gonna get feared. Okay, I'm gonna kick that. You can have your tank, inch up this way. And it's a little hard to get it, especially with this Tauren model. But you can get on this ledge here, and then eventually leap up this way. 5 hours later, in my case. And you get up there, and then you can snap all these things up to this little spot here. And your DPS can be standing down here and doing damage to them that way. It's really important whenever you're using any snap spot to make sure that you hold aggro. If people rip threat off of you, the mobs will immediately snap back down to them, and then that can really mess up your whole pull. You'll be trying to get threat back. You may not have line of sight to them as well. Worst case, if you're trying to use one of these snap spots over here, and the mobs snap back over to your group over there, you might not even be able to get line of sight to hit them with a taunt or whatever. So things can go very bad very quickly. It's also worth noting that not all mobs obey the same rules with snapping. Emissaries, for instance, notably do not snap. They'll just run towards where you are and not be able to actually snap up there with you, so you can use that to your advantage, although sometimes it can also be a drawback because you're not able to snap them intentionally. On weeks like Sanguine Week, you may want to use a different strategy with snapping, which is like a snap-on, snap-off strat, where you'll snap them on to group them up, and then as they're about to die, you move back out here and you snap them back out here, and by doing this, you can keep moving your Sanguine pools and avoid getting, a 4-stack of Sanguine, healing a sword all the way back up to full. It's also worth noting that not all enemies obey the same snap rules in Atal'Dazar. For instance, Razan, you'll learn about this spot if you've watched my Razan boss spotlight video, but this little waterfall over here, the mob can't draw a path to you. And it will instead snap you to Razan. So this is a boss in this dungeon that actually doesn't obey the same rules as all the trash does. It's also worth noting that not all dungeons do follow the same rules. Freehold, for instance, if you get yourself in a spot where the mobs can't draw a path to you, they will instead teleport you to them. Let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, there, you see I got teleported over to here, trying to jump on top of this little wood thing. Yeah, snapped again. So this can be really not something that you should try to use in every dungeon. You need to test and figure out what the exact rules are. Shrine of the Storm is another dungeon where mobs do snap, and I'm going to show you some cool snap spots in here. One thing to note, though, is that mobs will not snap if they are casting on you, because they're not actually trying to draw a path to you. So you'll see, if I get up here on this little brazier thing, and I zap this little droplet, the droplet will snap to me. But these attendants aren't actually going to snap to me until they finish casting whatever they were currently casting. So it's important to interrupt the mobs to make sure that they actually come and get on top of the snap spot with you. One other useful strategy, if you have a rogue or a hunter, is that they can misdirection or tricks of the trade you and send the mobs directly to you because they go after the threat target. So for instance, these droplets can just be tricked and all snap right to you, and that way you can get on the snap spot early and then have the rogue actually go do the hard work of pulling the stuff. This can even work if the mobs are really far away, like these two attendants. The rogue can go down and attack them and then vanish, and they will snap right up to me. It's important there to do the vanish as well, because these mobs are casters, so they'll cast their first cast on the rogue, but the vanish makes them then immediately snap to me. I hope this video has helped answer the question of what exactly snapping is and shown you some of the common ways to use snapping in a couple different dungeons. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed, and I'm happy to answer questions there. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and check out my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Dratnos. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.